Now let's say about VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is just vertical lookup, and it searches for a value in the first column of a range and return a value in the same row from another column. Let's say we have the same data as we used for if function. Let's call this as a pre-test score, and you have a new score. You can title them as a post-test score, and we have same names, but maybe when entering pre-test score, use student code or student ID, but in post-test we don't have student ID, so we can use VLOOKUP to generate student ID here in new data. Just enter equal sign, then write VLOOKUP will show up. It says looks for a value in the leftmost column of the table, and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. All right, and if you click on that, it shows the first thing is lookup value. Lookup value. So we are using the value in a new data set in the post score test. So use names. Want to correspond names in new data to the code from old or previous data of pretest. All right, so here we have H5, the student data, comma, table array, the previous data we want, comma, column index number. Column index number is the number of column where we want to take data from. For example, we want student ID, and the student ID are on the first column of our array, not the first column of the Excel, not just, it's the first column of our data array where the data is starting. So it's 1, and we appoint, we want exact match, so use false, double click, and the data. So it shows error. Let's see why this brings error. All right, it brings error because the lookup value, this one, should be on leftmost in our previous data, right? So if we let's see VLOOKUP looks a value in the leftmost column, of the table, and then returns a value of the same from value specified. By default, the table must be sorted in ascending order, right? So that's why this one would be at the left side in previous data. So we can rectify our formula here. Either we can just move this to here, okay, and then come rectify this, move them here, and then hit enter. It brings Perkins again, which we don't want. We just want the student ID, so we needed to change the column index number. So the student ID now is on fourth place, 1, 2, 3, 4. So change it and hit enter. Now comes, here we are. Now, all right, so now another problem arises because in entering data for post-test, the students were not ordered as they were ordered in the pre-test. You see, we have Perkins, we have Oprah, we have Campbell, but here we have Perkins, we have Mandy, we have Kepler. Like, so students are just not ordered according to ID as in the previous data entry. So we need to rectify this. We just come here. Why? Because you see, the software can't, it just it shows, or the formula goes in ascending order, as we have seen in its syntax. Let me show again. VLOOKUP. No, VLOOKUP, yes. It says by default the table must be sorted in ascending order. That's why if the students were not entered as they were entered in previous data, so if it reaches here, the students who were in the first places, so they will be, the software will not capture them. So we have a solution for it. We come here. For example, if we check here, we can see the software is going down, down, down. So we can fix so that it doesn't go down. We need to fix the rows with the dollar sign, or not here. You can just come on the first one so that everything will be okay. In a range table, so we need a table like this one. So we need to fix row 3 with dollar sign and row 18 with dollar sign so that it will stay here. Okay, enter and copy the formula. All right, you can see now the student have their IDs, right? Now you may ask that why VLOOKUP is important, while we can just come and copy the names here or the code here that we didn't have. But you see, in a case where we have students who are not ordered as we entered the data in the previous, so you will be struggled to sort manually the student or the ID, even their gender or any other variable there. So that's why this VLOOKUP is important. So you can take this one back and I will show you how again to do it. You just come here, VLOOKUP. We need to correspond with this name and student ID. Student ID, no, the whole, the array, and we want student ID, and it is on first place, then exact, which have been an error. So I want to show how to do it again without just moving this column. So if, for example, we need like if we move this here, okay, now our lookup variable will be on left side as we have here, okay, and if you click OK, now this one will come. All right, so make sure always the lookup variable is starting our array or our range, right? If we need, like, for example, gender, so gender will be on second place, so we come here and replace by 2 here. Okay, good. So the key point is just like here, the key point is on our column, no, our lookup value. Lookup value should correspond to the value in previous data we are referring to, and then put array range starting from that lookup value, and specify the column index number according to which column you want to bring to new data, and then specify which mode, exact match you should pick that. All right, now to correct this condition of using ascending data, or just to start with the lookup value, we use Xlookup. Xlookup doesn't mind where the data are, where the order is. So a lookup just allows you to search a range or array for a match and return a corresponding value from another array or array. So when you are using a later version of Excel, you can just use this formula: lookup value, lookup array, and return array, and it will just show, and you will navigate around.